What's up, guys? Johnny Jenkins here, and we're going to go through everything that I have with me regarding a GoPro and what I'm doing for fishing and filming, whether I'm out on the lake just filming footage and I'm just focusing on fishing and the camera just happens to be there. I usually just kind of forget about it for the most part. Or I'm actually doing instructional videos, I'm doing vlogs, whatever the case may be. I have this right here that keeps all my GoPro stuff. And then I have a few things that I do keep in the boat, a few mounts like suction cup mounts and some charging cables that I use. But besides that, I use this box that you're about to check out for everything that holds in it. I take it everywhere with me. If I'm going to go record something, this box is with me, and it usually keeps my GoPro in there, and it's got a ton of stuff in it. So this is the box that I keep it in. And you can get a quick look at everything that I have in there. It looks like a tangled mess, but you know, there's only about a handful of things that I use on a consistent basis. Go ahead and get into it. The actual box right here is a Plano Guide Series waterproof case. It's the 1460, so it's the yellow one. And for me, it's a perfect size to hold everything that needs to be held in here. Not too small, not too big. You could get a bigger one and you can keep like the suction cup mounts in there too and whatever else, but for me, that's heavy duty. It gets bounced around. It could potentially mess up your GoPro if it's sitting in there. This box right here works just perfect. It has a nice rubber bottom to it. It has rubber seals all the way across. It latches down really well. Plano did a very good job designing this box, and it has not failed me. I've had it for almost a year now, and I know I'm going to have it for a good while longer also. Now let's go ahead and get into the GoPro I have. I have a GoPro Hero 3, not the Plus, just in the Black series, and I haven't really had too many problems out of it, but this isn't a review on the GoPro, so I'm not going to get into that too much. Let's go ahead and get into some of the frames that I have. I have 3 different ones that I use, and I really do use all 3 of them, but there's one that I use a majority of the time, and it's this bad boy right here. It's the standard frame, and it's hardly anything. It's got little holes in there where you can charge it, so when I'm on the boat, I can link it into the car charger of my boat and I can charge it while filming. That's how I can film all day long, as long as my memory card doesn't fill up or I mess up, you know, the batteries of the boat by running that and my live wells and stuff. It can be a little bit heavy on my starting battery, but besides that, I can film all day long, no problems with battery issues whatsoever. I can have one battery. So I keep this. This is called the standard frame, and it makes the audio really good. I've gotten some people ask me, how is your audio so good on the GoPro? Well, a lot of people think that you're going to use the waterproof case all the time. You don't want to do that. I mean, it's hot. You see me sweating. I'm a big guy, dude. I'm going to be sweating. And it's similar with this GoPro waterproof case. It's going to make your GoPro overheat. It's going to shut off, and it's going to decrease the life of your GoPro also. So for me, using that standard frame is really key. The audio's better and stuff like that. So this is the one I use almost all the time. Now another one that I use is kind of in between the waterproof case and in between the standard case that I just showed you, and it's this one. Now if I get out in the morning and there's a little bit of moisture, maybe some fog, or maybe the waves are really bad and I'm getting some waves kind of splashing over and it's just creating some moisture, I don't want this thing to get wet. I'll use this one. It's a little bit more protection, but it has holes here in the back. It's called the back door, and it's got that extra housing, so the audio is going to be a little bit better, but it's not waterproof. And then also it has a hole here that I enlarged. I cut it out a little bit more with a Dremel tool, just because before I couldn't get my charging cable to fit through there, but I cut it just a little bit more. And I use this sometimes. Generally, it's the standard frame and then the complete waterproof housing right here. No issues with that. So that's the next one that I use. That's the 3 that I use the most. Then also, I've got a couple tripod mounts. Like if I'm putting it on a tripod to do instructional videos or vlogs or just anything that I want to use a tripod mount for, this is one of them. The GoPro slides in here and it holds it on pretty securely. I wouldn't do it like in a boat or anything because it doesn't hold it that secure, but it does a pretty good job. Now another thing I will do, and I'm pretty sure this came with the GoPro package that I got, or the package deal where it came with like the skeleton case. It came with several other little things. So you can see it. It's the package deal. But I also keep these. I've got a couple backups, ones that have broke because they're pretty cheap, cheaply made, and they're cheap to buy. But they're just regular tripod mounts for the GoPro, and you can plug that in. Also, that's what I do with my GoPro. I use, you'll see in a minute what I do, and I keep a couple of these as backups. These are kind of weird ones that I'll use if I know I'm not in a situation where the GoPro is going to be dropped. If I'm on dry land, then I'll use these if I need to. But I have ones that I just bought a few of them. I should have one that's good to go. I can't find one. Wow. But I've got a couple of them that are good to go, and I try and keep several of those on hand. Now let's dig in a little bit more. Now there's a couple mounts here that you can use. It gives you a couple different mounting options. You could put this along with the tripod mounts and different things like that. This came with the package deal. Once again, I did not buy that aftermarket. This came with the package deal also, an extra waterproof back door case, completely waterproof. You could put that on. You can even change that out with the skeleton one, the one that has the holes in the back. You can put that in there, and you've got a second waterproof case. Let's see. This came aftermarket. This is some sort of mount. I honestly don't know. I'm not going to get into it. I don't use it, but it just kind of came. It kind of came with it. And then I've got several of these. You can even buy these aftermarket, and I keep a couple extra of these just to make sure. This is what keeps your GoPro secure with your mounts and with your frames. This is really, really important. You want them to be strong, and you want to have plenty of them, so they can be easy to lose. Also, this came with the GoPro. I didn't buy this aftermarket, of course, but this is just a regular charging cable for the Wi-Fi remote. And here's the Wi-Fi remote, which honestly, I thought when I bought the GoPro that I would use this a lot, but I haven't hardly used it at all in the last year. I've used it to experiment around a little bit, but for my needs, don't really need it. I think it would be even better if it had a better signal underwater. I'd probably use it more, but besides that, I don't use it. Not really sure what this is, but it's some sort of mount, but it came with the package deal. I'm not really sure what this is either. It kind of came with the package deal. I haven't had a need for it. This right here is an extra. This is the top piece that goes to one of my housing cases. Let's see. I've got a couple GoPro stickers in here. This is the car charger. You can charge this in the car. And I have 3 batteries. 2 of them are Wasabi power, and one of them is the GoPro one that came with the GoPro package. And these Wasabi, they're cheaper and they do a good job. They last just as long, in my opinion. And I've done a lot of research too. Now I forgot what this is called, but this came with the GoPro package that I had also, and it helps with audio when you're using the waterproof case. So if you're going to use a waterproof case a lot with whatever adventures you're doing besides fishing or whatever underwater footage, it really does help with a lot of that weird noise and stuff. You can check out some videos on that. I can't remember the name of it, but and it's funny, I've got a big punching weight right here for my fishing. You guys that fish, are watching this for fishing, you know exactly what this is for. I got this. I don't know what the hell that is, but and then another thing, this is pretty cool. Actually, I need to buy a new one. It broke, but this is a UV polarized lens for the GoPro, but it only works on the frames that are waterproof or the skeleton one. It does not work on the standard frame because it literally fits around. I'll show you. It fits just like that. So with the standard frame, it wouldn't work. You can't do it. But it does work. It does a good job. I think it helps out with the quality a little bit. Here's an extra thing that came with the GoPro, a little extra mount, piece of a mount. And then now I'm going to get into some of the more important things that I do use. This right here is called a Media Bridge dual USB car charger. You'll see it has 2 USB ports in there, a 1 amp and a 2.1 amp. So you can get plenty of power and you can charge 2 things at once. I put this in my boat, that way I can charge all day. You can also charge your cell phone and stuff like that, so it's really, really handy. And it doesn't drain a whole lot of battery if you're using your trolling motors and different things like that. it can be a little much, but it's really super important. I'm probably going to buy another one actually, just to have an extra. And also the one for my truck personal use broke. Now this really is important too right here. This is a 10-foot this is a 10-foot USB, micro USB cord. So it's going to have the micro port right here that goes into your GoPro, and then it's going to have the regular USB that goes into the media bridge. So that'll go together, and it ensures that I can charge all day. Long cable, so I can have it run from pretty much one end of the boat to the other for the most part. So that's really important. I think you can get it up to like 12 or 15 feet. And now here is just an extra short little cable to charge the GoPro itself to like a wall mount, to like the wall charger in your house. I bought this aftermarket. This is the GoPro head mount right here. It does well for me. I like it, but if you can put it on your actual hat, that's even better, because this, when you're wearing sunglasses, can be really restricting and it can be a little bit uncomfortable. Now here are the two mounts that I use the most, and they're suction cup mounts. I mount this right onto my boat, and I pretty much just let it sit there and I forget about it. This one right here is a cheap knockoff. This is the one I bought first originally. It's a ram mount, and you would think it'd be really good, but the suction cup on this thing sucks. I mean, it's really, really bad. You don't want to trust having a $400 or $600 setup on there. So, and it connects with the tripod, so I put the little tripod mount on top of there, just screw it in, and then put the GoPro in there, and you're good to go. I use this as a backup, or anytime I just need a little something quick, but I hardly ever use it. It's complete backup. I keep it in my boat as a backup for the one that I use the most, and that is the GoPro one. And I mean, I wish I could tell you guys that you can get away with something that's cheaper, but this one is more expensive, but it's well worth it when you're talking a $400+ camera. This thing, they advertise that it can withstand up to 200-mile-an-hour winds, and I've been in some rough water doing 40 and 50 miles an hour, hitting waves hard, enough to literally knock out the GPS signal in my Humminbird, seriously. And it's held up fine. It doesn't come loose as long as you put it down and you secure it right. Invest in it. I mean, it's just trust me. It hasn't broke. It hasn't messed up. It's the deal. Now, probably, yeah, this is the last piece of equipment. This is the self-made. Well, no, I'm sorry. There's another thing too. Homemade little hat cam, and it works really well. I might even show a little clip here showing you some footage on it. But or I might make a separate video, but this is really cool. I use some Pro soft bait glue and put that on there. I trust it. It's not gonna come loose. I'm telling you, I put a lot on there, and I know what you're saying, glue. If you haven't seen my recent video on this glue, then you're like, what the hell? But trust me, this is good. It's not gonna come off. I'm not gonna have to worry about it. I could probably pull on it all I want, and it's not gonna come loose. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna trust it going down the lake 50 miles an hour, hitting waves and stuff. I'll usually take it off, but when I'm fishing, no need to worry about it. And it's good to go. You can find another way to do that. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube where you can do that. But let's get into the last piece of equipment that I have for my GoPro, and it's a GoPro. Homemade little GoPro. You don't have to spend all that money on it. I think this one I've had to recut it and measure and resize, and had to redo it recently. So I think it's around 6 foot or so, and it's completely made out of PVC pipe. And you can see there the tripod mount that I put on it. I'm actually gonna have to redo that again here soon, but it works fine. It works well. It's not like I'm doing extreme sports with it, so you know, it serves its purpose. But anyway, this video is going on long enough, so I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, if you learned something, if you have specific questions and stuff, leave them in the comments. Leave me some likes. Leave some positive feedback, because I'm taking a lot of time to make these videos and whatnot. So if you have any specific questions on things you want to know regarding the GoPro and different things, be sure to ask, and share this to your friends, YouTube people, social media, and Google+. So this has been Johnny Jenkins. I'll be talking to you guys later.